everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. We're continuing on with the Justice for All game, and we are on episode 4, Farewell My Turnabout, part 2-1, Trial. So let's go ahead and get back into it. March 22nd, 9:47 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Oh yes, it's on guard. That's who we're trying to save. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman wouldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. Okay. A mountain of evidence. Yes, yes. I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Oh, please, Mr. Lawyer, dude. Like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, all right? Oh my gosh, he's gonna get found guilty. I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand, sir, but there is a mountain of evidence, okay? Well, it's almost time. Oh! Mia and Pearl's body. We must get a complete acquittal today. I know, but I can't focus on my situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed, yes. Well, let's get going. Beep, 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 beep. It's the transceiver. The receiver. It's him. The radio. This is Wright. Oh, good morning. This is Mr. Attorney, the day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Oh, don't worry. People don't die at that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world do you want from me? Oh, you'll figure it out once the trial starts, and even if you don't like my gift, I expect to graciously accept and win today's contest, if you please. Beep. The kidnapper sent me a present, huh? Mr. Lawyer dude? Who is that? Oh, that was the killer. No one. It's nothing to do with you, okay? So forget it. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Oh, I forgot my Pinocchio nose. Pinocchio. He knows I lied. Okay, 10 a.m. Perfect time. Wait, where's the prosecutor? Court is now in session for Matt and guard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? Defense is ready. And there's no one there. What the heck? I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Your Honor. Yes, please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman? Okay, I didn't like... well, I did like Miss Von Karma. She was annoying, but she doesn't deserve to get shot. What the heck? Was that the gift, I guess? Shot? Yes, yes. Somehow, I think this present the man was talking about, his present, was a bullet in Miss Von Karma's chest. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be an advantage for you. Miss Von Karma is, she's alright, right? Yeah? I don't have that answer. She's alive and in stable condition. That's good. You're Edgeworth, of course. Your Honor, due to circumstances, Miss Francisca Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Why are you standing there, then? Okay, good. He's back at the normal place. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Okay, it was in her chest. Okay, good. Luckily, I've looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Mattengard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Yes, yes. Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for all my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Gumshoe, you don't have to worry, okay? There's no whip this time. Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct for now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Oh. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir! Now, let's have your testimony. If you want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with this. Or that. Oh. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be a very rough fight. It would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Come on. Okay, bare facts of the case. The murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Cordia, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe it was definitely murder. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. How did you know that? After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room, correct? Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone in their rooms, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay. Murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony. Okay, press. Would you please give us the brief timeline of the ceremony? Start at 6 p.m. Ended around 8. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start 30 minutes later. That's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during the 30-minute break period. Please continue. Okay. So we got a timeline now. Found dead in his hotel room. Okay. The person to discover the body was Adrian Andrews. Yes. Who is this? She's the defendant, Matt Ungard's manager. She's a real pretty lady, sir. Ah! She's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. Maybe. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Ungard. After visiting his room, she went to the victim's room to get him for the show. And then she found the body. Believe it was definitely murder. Cause of death. He was stabbed in the chest. Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that. Wait, he wasn't stabbed in the chest? Was he poisoned? Take a good look. A real pro's attention would be drawn to this bandana. Banana? Oh. His bandana, sir. That thing wrapped around his neck. Ah, yes. His banana-scented bandana. Yes. What about the knife? Seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death to make it seem like, okay. We have a crafty murder on our hands. Ooh, good. Okay, strangled by a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. First, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. Okay. Why do you think that? Because it was empty, pal. Yes, he was missing his guitar. The German ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Then how is this about his theory? A fan really wanted the guitar, did the crime to get it? How's that? We thought about that too, but... the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. I see. So much for my theory. Okay. Empty, there's some water, but only on the top of the lid. Bear Cordia's fingerprints. Okay. So water. However, we later found out the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Okay. What convinced you? Wasn't at the gate... What? It wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night? Then where was it? Bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Cordia, had apparently only taken the case with him. Why would he only take the case? Did he forget the guitar? Okay. Yes, sir. Even when he was out on stage, he didn't have his guitar. That's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Good question. Because the reason, there's a reason enough to suspect him. Okay, here comes. Very well, Detective Gumshoe. Please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, why arrest on guard? Matt on guard and Juan Cordia were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in the way. As for evidence, there is the Jamming Ninja's button. Was ripped off the ninja costume. Was found in Mr. On Guard's hakama. Okay. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this premeditated murder. Maybe they ate together. I don't know. So the defendant's fingerprints were found in the knife used for the stabbing. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly. That seems very suspicious. Okay, got the knife. So it bears the victim blood and on guard's fingerprints and has Gatewater engraved on it. And there's this button. It's found in the defendant's clothes. And also covered in blood. We know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. Okay. Juan Cordia's blood. All this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give it in yet, Mr. Wright? Ha! I'll find a hole in your argument somehow. Come on, Edgeworth. I'm not going to give up that easily. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. They're never pointless, though. Okay, they're never. Except for half of them. Okay. So, let's go ahead and press. We're huge rivals, correct. But in terms of popularity, Mr. On Guard won, didn't he not? Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Cordia was always one step behind Mr. On Guard in everything. This year, he'd finally caught up. But Mr. Cordia lost the Grand Prix in the end. Too bad, must have been pretty downhearted after the loss. They each thought the other guy was in the way. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Ongar was beating Mr. Cordia in the popularity polls. Yes, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not the rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. I think that's pretty flimsy there, Phoenix. Yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective, it's not, well, I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Maybe it works. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. Eh? No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Sir, please. I look forward to your pension negotiations. No! Oh, now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony. No, not my poor pension, too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. Wait, we can talk about my pension later, sir. As for evidence, there's the Jamming Ninja's button. Okay. Do you have any proof the button belonged to the victim? Oh, my. What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. Asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim. That it was ripped off the Jamming Ninja's costume. But can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared blood on it afterwards. Come on. Give me some evidence. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, please, sir. thread. The button is attached to the costume by thread, obviously, and that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread of the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Oh, so it is off the costume. Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. Okay. It was ripped off the Jonio's costume and found in the Hamaka. Okay. When was the button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Cordia. Then we did a search on them. That's why we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder. Okay, yes. Thank you, Judge. The police didn't have free time to lollygag and play tricks unlike some people. The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. Okay. How were the fingerprints arranged? What do you mean? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhanded? Oh, that's what you meant. Well, we didn't actually think about that. What? Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, Mr. Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. It brought the knife, which makes this premeditated murder. There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he brought a knife. Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. Yes, it doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around either. Prosecution can prove this is premeditated murder. We're done for. Phoenix, yes. There's something very interesting about what the detective just said now. Think carefully before it's too late. Button covered in victim's blood. A knife with on-guard's fingerprints. Be grateful if the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, so now we're going to find something to present. So, why don't we present the knife? Okay, let's go ahead and present the knife here. Yes. Okay, seems like that was the right thing to do. Wait a second. Okay, what? So the basis of your argument was that premeditated murder is simply that my client brought a knife beforehand. That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Exactly. It was from the hotel. Take a good look. Watergate, right? Gatewater. I think I've heard that name somewhere before. Yes, it's a hotel. Oh! Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. Fair point. That's very true. Oh, Edgeworth's laughing. That's not good. What is Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? What's wrong? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't know. The question is, where did this knife come from? Well, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Cordia's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that's incorrect. Okay. Victim ate his last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. His own knife. There's a knife and fork at the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? Mr. Onguard's room, I'm guessing. If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Matt Onguard. There's one knife missing. Yeah. Especially what was on the top of this table. There is something missing, perhaps. It is a single knife. Yeah, I see it. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and when we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Matt Onguard's knife was missing. Mr. Engard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course! Maybe not, okay. Well, with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Now hold your horses, Edgeworth. Okay, we got some more time. Amazing, Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. It seems like Edgeworth had this plan for the very beginning. A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to court. Evidence not shown. He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. Well, Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, do you have some important and necessary... Yes, I actually do. Okay. Let's look at the evidence. However, I'm giving you one chance. What the judge is saying is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs. Okay. They already know about the guitar case. The glass, maybe. We already got all this stuff from here. So yeah, let's do the wine glass, okay? Take that? Yes? This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. Yes, it's the wine glass that's right there. The scene of the mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken. His makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on the top of the dresser. Yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on the top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. Exactly. He threw everything off the thing, or whoever did, but the glass is there afterwards. The only thing that had not fallen over was the wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Yes. Well, what do we all have to say? Well, yes, it is a little peculiar. Thank you, Judge. I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours. Mr. Edgeworth, what is it, Your Honor? Your opinion? You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? Huh? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could easily have been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. Can we check for fingerprints, maybe? That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. Could Miss Andrews really have that glass down without thinking? I would say no. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. Exactly. For now, I trust my instincts. They might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. Okay, defense would like to challenge prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Do you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then what? Of course it's been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints. There were only one set of fingerprints left on the glass. Only one. Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Adrian Andrews. Oh my gosh, he has thought of everything. What? Okay. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. As we're done here, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I fell into a trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Cordia. And set it down. What do you say? Yeah, wouldn't you say that makes a lot of sense? Yeah, kinda. Tisk tisk. Now, do you see it, Mr. Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness who we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? Yes! Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Edgeworth thinking? Is he giving us a chance? Oh, it's an old bag. Now the witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness! Gotcha! Edgeworth is seething. I wonder what happened to the calm composure he had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy, it's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? Oh, gosh. You could be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand. Oh, I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today, I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with the terrible crime. Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Oof. Sush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Oh, gosh. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, ma'am. No. Please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Ahem. Anyways, witness, your testimony, please. It's true what they say, that youth are hotheads nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. This is correct, Miss Old Bag. It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Cordia. But those two were the same age, exactly. Anyways, as I was saying, I was pissing in front of this room, his room that night. Very well. Please tell us the court what you witnessed. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Okay. Anyways, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up, a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was On Guard, Matt On Guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. Oh. That's not good. So Mr. On Guard came out of the victim's room. See? It has to be him. He's the murderer. Come on. No. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. That's pretty cut and dry. Okay. Okay, you went and paced around the room. Miss Old Bag, what was your post that night? The lobby. I was supposed to be set up in the stage in front of the show, but I refused to help. I'll have you know, it was for that lead-headed samurai show. Oh. I even took out a few nails. Oh. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Yeah. Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. That's why you went to hang around the victim's door. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. What was that? It's not a little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. Ah, an Edgy Poo, of course. Mr. Edgeworth, what is the thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Same. But should it prove relevant, we'll always have it apprehended to her testimony later. It looks like we should enforce it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Okay, keep an eye out. Then, would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Cordia's room? I have no idea. What? I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I kept keeping track of how old... You quit keeping track of how old you were? Oh. Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report, yes. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? That's when someone showed up, came out of Quan's room. Who in the world was that? Is it on guard? Oh, wait, I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out was, yes, who he was. I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh. Well, I guess I could tell you since he is such a bad boy anyways. It was on guard. Okay. You saw my client? Are you sure? Yes, see? Is she really? Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Okay. Person's face, what the person was carrying, the person's clothes. Okay, let's look at the person's clothes. What were they wearing? What a troublesome man you really are. Like that matters, but it does. What a thing. The gaudy thing he always wearing, that racing jacket. Oh. Okay, so yeah. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons? Men. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in the way? I want to say that it's very important. Of course it's very important, Your Honor. Okay. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of the testimony was important. Don't you see, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to the testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness please. He was wearing a... Okay. Badmouth anyone without reason, but I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. Okay. Why don't we present the button? Miss Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? Ah, it's a number 2 button on the Jamie Ninja's costume. Okay, she's obsessed with it. She's identified it in a single glance. Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you for this. What? Punish me? Oh. I'm shot. She really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered in Mr. Onguard's body during the full body search. See, this button proves beyond a shadow of doubt that it was Rascal Onguard. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hamaka pants. And on guard is the nickel samurai. Witness? Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt on guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? Oh, he wasn't wearing the nickel samurai costume. Ah. I'm so sorry. Sorry about your judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest... Oh, she's blabbering again. Hideous, right? Tape recorder? What? It's heavy, so heavy I wish... Oh. Understand now? Take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are... Oh my gosh. Quit. Please quit. He's got style? Now hold your tongue still. There's... For 1 second. So what you saw in the actuality was not Mr. Onguard, the man. You saw the nickel samurai. But when you think about it... Okay, this helps us. They really won the same anyways. Missile bag! This is very important. Edgy Poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important, please, Edgeworth. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. All right, if you insist. Ooh, who I saw. Okay. On guard, on guard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was Nickel Samurai. Would have been convenient for him to wear his costume to the murder. He had to go to the post-ceremony stage show right at the crime. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. So he took it off? I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside the costume? Yes. Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, young'uns today, I told you, there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so. And then what I said is the truth. Ah, I hate her. I hate the windy old bag. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Okay. Who I saw. On guard? Okay. Would you please get on with your testimony? Oh. Watch your language. Keep barking me out like that. I'll start singing at the top of my lungs. Please don't do that. I don't want you to sing. A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone he is. He's the Nickel Samurai. Oh. He's actually singing. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about the racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. Okay! You promise, right? Alright. Right. I'll be sending a bill for the chewing gum to your office at the later date. Chewing gum?! Oh. Okay. Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was a Nickel Samurai. Okay. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. You said he was wearing the racing jacket. Not too long ago. Okay, then let me ask you this. When you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream? To be a lawyer, of course. No. My dream, huh? Well, to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public courts. A judge, see? Look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Correct. Who puts weight into things like that? Now is everything. Okay. All that matters is the man inside the costume. Isn't that enough? It would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. It would have been convenient, but that doesn't mean it's like would have actually happened. And why would that be? That way no one could have seen his face. There's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out more. True. You're such an annoying child, you know that. You disagree with everything I say. I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change. He had to go to the post-ceremony. Okay. After the crime, you know. Was there anywhere else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show? All the contestants were supposed to go on stage in the... Okay. Including the Jamie Ninja. Of course, it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought. Anyways. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai's costume when stabbing Juan. So let me ask you one thing. The person you saw is really... It really was the Nickel Samurai. As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? Come on. You don't need to think too hard on this one. There's a contradiction or testimony. It's sitting in the plain sight. The question is, what contradiction means for us? Okay. So, now we have to look for something to present. So. If we present the knife, maybe? Yes. Here at the stabbing question. Okay. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with it, I'll have you know it won't work. I'm not threatening you, old bag. No, no, no. That's not my intention. That's a knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to the case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? Yes? Maybe? That is exactly what I'm driving at. Where are you driving at? And whose car are you driving? If Mr. OnGuard was really in a costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to be left on a knife. He was wearing gloves, wasn't he? Oh. Actually, he would have wiped all fingerprints on the knife right off. Fair. That's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves. He probably took his gloves off before he began to stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his fingerprints on the murder weapon? Come on, he's smarter than that. There is no way he would have do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume. At the time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He's probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between them. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say? Okay, so when the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention to kill him. So it wasn't premeditated! Okay. Then there is a contradiction. This theory contradicts something in the earlier testimony. Oh. What are you babbling about? Now for the argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. OnGuard was the killer. I think it's impossible for the killer to have gloves. To have gone to the victim's room without intent. Yeah, exactly. Why would he bring the knife if there was no intent? So if he didn't want to kill him, it wasn't premeditated, he wouldn't have brought the knife. Okay. Yes, we did establish that he used it at dinner. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Cordia, I suppose. However, you just said to yourself, at the time the defendant held no intent to murder. That is a contradiction. Why would he bring the knife? Yes, Edgeworth, what do you think? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory is flawed from the... Okay. It was flawed. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints should have been all over it. Shouldn't have been all over it like bees on a hive. Edgeworth doesn't like that. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Exactly. Order, order, I say. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? It had to be to frame Mr. OnGuard. Yeah, it's gotta be to frame him. To frame my client? To frame. Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on that one? No, I'm not. But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. But they're everywhere. Witness! Oh. Looks like I've made your life a teeny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo? Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Matt OnGuard with the Nickel Samurai? His character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because, well... I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting for? Huh, that's top secret to anyone outside the security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Juan Cordia, am I correct, witness? Ha ha ha! The way you think, you are a sad amateur with terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I amateur of? So he's waiting around in front of the victim's room, but it sounded like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Cordia, maybe. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person. I think I know who it is, okay? I think Mia's hinting at a certain possibility. Miss Old Bag, you're waiting for this person. Okay, profiles. It's gotta be Adrian Andrews. Because she probably heard that Juan Cordia and her were kind of talking with each other. Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, the manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? Good question. Seems this was in the latest rumor in circulation. This is, well, yeah, sure, see. Judge seems to be really into the article. Then the manager with the initials AA are saying it's Adrian Andrews, yes. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then. Witness? What in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about a very bad feeling. I got this information, some very secret information from a certain source. It's Lotta, isn't it? That's why I was doing my own little investigation. Oh, just for myself, personal reasons and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed? I really don't want to do this, however, I can't simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about this secret information. Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of your young'uns. Oh, wind out of us? Oh. Okay, secret information. That on guard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. And this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know that yet. There's another person. There's a few other people. The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody is above gossip. Come on. This isn't there a saying? The truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one. Yeah, I haven't either. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found the truth the article proposes in fact baseless gossip. No, I bet you it's true. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will toward the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Okay, cross-examine. Be careful, the old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right, on guard is nothing but an average foul-blooded youth. Well, okay. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Danger zone? Oh. Okay. He's an evil man. You can't say something like that without proof. It's just slander. But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says it right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars. AA. But the name of the magazine is Gossip Land. What? Are you saying that gossip is all a pack of lies? What do you know? Come on. I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Ha! Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip. Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. Anyways, on guard will never get me to say touche. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. Scandal? What do you mean by that? You're a dimwit one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in school these days? I've been out of school for a while, right? Right? Well, that on guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity. So to do that, he sent his own manager. Okay. You don't have any proof that Mr. On Guard did any such thing. You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, can't do anything right now. You're right. I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you. Alright then, Sonny, show me what you got. Can you show me proof that Ongar didn't bear any ill will toward Juan? I don't think... We'll decline. We'll decline. I don't think there's anything we can give her. See? Just as I thought. And you were lecturing me by saying things without proof. Give me a free pass. Say anything I want. Oh. That's the way the cookie crumbles for you anyways. I cannot condone dirty tricks. So, what do you mean by I took action? Look, I already told you I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came by, came out of Juan's room. I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson, something you youngins need. I was going to make her eat the damaged beams of my ray gun. Oh, you're going to shoot her with the ray gun? Like this! No, stop! Well, it's too bad the woman didn't come through the door that night. Oh, and it's top secret, you got it. Nobody else but you and me know yet. Okay? Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole in my brain, you'll never find out. We should present evidence, I think. Yes. So, no one else is supposed to know this secret information. Then why do you know? Witness? I hate to say this, but this is how you came to acquire this. Okay. Lotta's camera. The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. On a piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions of that relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? No. I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless. Ah, that's it. That's the note. No, you see, this is something completely different. Okay, this is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Then you're the one who took Miss Hart's note. I'm a huge fan of Juan. That's why. Come on. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said it so herself. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should come up with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper, I suppose. We can overlook that just this once. Should I forgive her? Pile on more pressure. Do it. Witness! You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from a terrible, lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying. I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Old bag. I don't believe that note is the only thing you stole that night. Maybe if we present Lotta's camera again. Let's go ahead and try that. Miss Old Bag. That note was with the camera inside the case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweet $1,600 camera disappeared on me. Why, witness? What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then you're only logical you have the camera too. Look! Looks like you found me out, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? That's... Yeah, this has the camera. What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people. I think your definition of borrow is a little off. It's stolen. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slime Bag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, then, I saw that, and I had to know the sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things. Okay. So you stole the camera to see what type of photos she took. Check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Oh? Okay. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to the case. Please present it to the court. Oh! This is the Nickel Samurai. You're correct. See, I told you, that's the guy I saw. That proves the witness was not lying earlier. What does all this mean? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant, however. In his own confession, Mr. Ongard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. That's the case, and this Nickel Samurai is... gotta be him, right? The defendant. Yeah. Unless there's two Nickel Samurai costumes, maybe. How did it come to this? I think this brings to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? Is it decisive evidence? But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Can't make a mistake here. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it. Yep, there's something strange with the photo. I knew that was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree this is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. A bunker? Debunk with a bunker buster. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Kinda. Anyways, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Okay. I have to find something wrong with the photo. It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot? Now then, let's hear your objection. What's strange about it? We can't see the feet. They said that he was supposed to be wearing those cleats or whatever that the button was stuck in. So yeah, feet. I would like to direct the court's attention to one area. His ankles, his feet. And what does this mean? The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. Ongard. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai poster. Oh! Pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the... Okay. His socks, you can see his socks. This one you can't. However, in this photo, he's clearly holding his... Oh, he is holding it up to walk. So, it's someone that's shorter. There's only one explanation. The person inside the costume is shorter than the defendant. Fair. Good call. That's curious. Edgeworth is unusually calm. Okay. He's along for the ride. What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack. Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt Ongard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. And he's not scared. Why is that? I figured it would come to this. Oh, what? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Ongard. In that case, who is this in the photo? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai's costume? It's very simple. What you should focus on is Edgeworth's attitude. Why is he so calm? Okay. Who is the person that... The only other person that would be going in there, I would think, would have to be Adrian Andrews, right? It's gotta be her. Adrian Andrews. If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it's none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Andrews? For starters, she's short, and she can freely move in and out of Mr. Onguard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Onguard that night. And how does that add up? She could have took the knife. Yeah. She could have got the knife with all of his fingerprints on it. Why didn't you just say that? Okay. The defense moves to... Okay. Oh, Miss Andrews and the murder of Juan Correa. Intent. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Oh, no. Order, order. Looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If she is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. Oh. One more day. Maybe we can get her today. We shall set her testimony for tomorrow. Raise an objection or... Yeah, we should probably raise an objection. Now then. Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. Can I... Oh. Edgeworth? Wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Are you going to help me? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But we cannot continue. Unexpected development. Come on. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. What do you mean? Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoena Miss Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? This was all in your plan? You planned this the whole time? Is she already a witness? She's currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. Edgeworth! Good boy. Good boy. I love you. She's the next witness. Everything's planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Feels like the battle is far over. Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness. The court will take a 10-minute recess. Okay, okay. So we're still on the same day. Cool. To be continued, as always. So yeah, we haven't really got very far at all, other than we think that Miss Andrews, the manager, was inside the Nickel Samurai costume, and she could have got a hold of the knife to be used on Juan Cordia, which, if it's true that she was kind of like messing around with Juan, then why would she kill him? I don't know. I don't know if she'd actually kill him or not. But anyways, thank you all for stopping by. We will continue on with episode 4, Farewell My Turnabout, part 2-2 trial, next time. So, bye-bye.